How do you have a strong marriage? You build on a strong foundation. In Genesis chapter 2, we are given the foundation stones that God intended every godly, good, strong marriage be built on. There's 9 of them. Let's talk about them very quickly. Are you ready? Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. The Lord God said, "It's not good that man should be alone. I will make a helper comparable to him." And then in verse 21, the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept, and God took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, God made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. So God's the one that saw that it wasn't good. God's the one that took action. God's the one that created the woman, and God's the one that brought her to man. God's the one that created marriage. Therefore, he knows more about it than anybody else. God has seen every marriage throughout history. If you want to have a strong marriage, you've got to build it on the foundation stone of God. He needs to be first in your life, first in your marriage. Number 2, companionship. It's not good, it said, that man should be alone. You know, statistics tell us that marriages, strong, lasting marriages, are more about companionship than physical attraction. Companionship is one of the single most important ingredients in strong, lasting marriages. You want to strengthen your marriage? Work on becoming a better friend to your mate. It's about companionship. Do things together. Number 3, complement each other. It says that God said, "I will make a helper comparable to him." Complementary helper. So God made a woman, not from Adam's head to rule over him, not from his feet to be under him, but from his side to be alongside of him, to complement him. Different, yet equal, to complement him in accomplishing what God has called him and called them to do. Marriage works on complementing each other, strengthening each other, being better together. Independent. It says in verse 24, "Therefore the man shall leave his father and mother." Strong marriages have to stand on their own. There has to be a point where the man and the woman are independent and separate from the parents financially, physically, and emotionally. It's got to be an independent union. Then it's got to be a bond. The two shall leave father and mother, it says, and be joined to his wife. The word joined means literally glued together, stronger together, bound together, unbreakably together. You know, you can take 2 sticks and you can take 1 stick and you can break it, but if you put 2 sticks together, they're much harder to break. They bond together. Intimacy. They shall become one flesh. Leave father and mother, be joined together, become one flesh. Now it's talking primarily about sexual intimacy. And this wonderful thing God has created, we call sex, sexual intimacy, sexual intercourse, and it is used by God to bind the heart of the husband to the wife and the wife to the husband. And this should be something that every marriage couple participates in often throughout their entire marriage life. But intimacy is more than just the physical. It's also an emotional intimacy. It's a spiritual intimacy. It's learning to get on the same page together more and more and more and more. And then it says they were both naked and not ashamed. Strong marriages are where you can be yourself and be fully accepted. You can be vulnerable. You can be open. You can be honest. You can be authentic with each other and know that you're accepted and loved as you are. We need to give our mates our own vulnerability to them and then our acceptance of them. And then there's that third party. Jesus quoted this, verse 24 and 25, in Matthew chapter 19, and he says, "Therefore what God has joined together. There's a third party in this. Your marriage is not just about two people trying to make it work, a contract between two people. It's a covenant between three people, the man, the woman, and God. You need to learn to run to God, rely on God, count on God. Rely on that third party, God Himself, to make your marriage stronger. And the last one is, what God has joined together, Jesus said, let no man separate. You've got to go into marriage with a commitment to permanence. We're going to make this work. We're going to get through the hard times. We're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep going. There'll be times when your mate's not giving anything back and you're the one giving and giving and giving. Well, you've got to go into marriage with the idea this is forever. Until death do us part. Now, these foundation stones, if you'll keep building on each of them, you'll find that your marriage will get stronger and your impact will get higher and broader as you can bless more and more people through the strength of your marriage.